Hello to my first YouTube video. I decided to start making YouTube videos because I believe in the power of associations. And yeah, let's jump right in, and I can give you a little background on what I think about when I say power of associations and why I think that YouTube videos are going to help me a lot, and hopefully provide you also with interesting things. So first of all, what is an association? An association is basically, well, let's start before associations. There are things in this world, right? They're just like, I don't know, here's a table, I live in an apartment, I live in a city, there are cars, there's food, there are all of these things in our world, like the things I just mentioned, and everything else you can see or you don't see even, like smell or an abstract concept like anger or a crisis. Now, everything I just said has nothing to do with associations yet, but I'm sure that when I said these things like food, probably you had some food in mind, and you have some food in mind right now. And what happened is that you were walking down a path from the word food to something else. Maybe you're thinking of pizza right now. And you were able to do that using an association in your mind, in your brain, that kind of links the concept of food with, in this case, a particular kind of food that maybe you like a lot. Or maybe when you think of pizza, you have an association with a particularly fun night with some of your friends, and maybe, you know, in the middle of the night after going to the club, you ended up in some random pizza shop, and it turned out to be kind of the best night of your life, you know? So an association to me is kind of a possible opportunity, a possible path to go from one thing, from one entity to another. And to me, that's a very powerful concept. I mean, probably to anyone, it is very powerful. And what I really like when talking to others is that I do have a lot of associations. And I tend to get very excited when someone talks and I have like, you know, 10 associations, and I'm like, I can't decide which way to go. What should I say now? There's also this thing where someone shares something very personal or something that is very valuable to them, and you know, I might share a completely unrelated to them, unrelated association, and maybe that drives the conversation in a direction they didn't want to. So I kind of had to improve or get better at kind of my conversation skill to always allow the others to share what they want to share and give them feedback or listen to them, really. I do think that listening is super important, and also you can kind of pick up the nonverbal cues and signals your conversation partners are sending as well. But that's another topic. I do think that when you handle it right and kind of gentle and yeah, with a little fine sensitive feeling, that associations can be super valuable to a conversation. So also to your conversation partners. And I would say that in the last 4 years, I have broadened my perspective about myself and my life. Like, compared to my life before, it's a completely different, you know, dimension. I explored traveling. I started to do poetry again. This year, I'm going to start playing an instrument again. So really, all of my creativity I've developed, and honestly, it came to a point where now every day, like, so many things happen, so much change happens, which is amazing. But I feel that, and I have conversations with many people, which I really like. It always helps me to talk to others and to express my own experiences and feelings, but also to listen to others, and then I can draw up these associations where, to me, the real value kicks in. So, like these days, I'm literally talking to like dozens of people, usually in some kind of chat, maybe on Twitter or WhatsApp, Telegram. But I also have a lot of calls with friends and just people in my network. And it came to a point where I feel my life is changing so fast and so quick that talking to people like that in a way that I'm doing, it's too slow. So I thought, how can I scale up this process of kind of processing experiences I had and building up these associations? Because I feel things happen, and then I need some kind of process to internalize them, or even realize what really happened and what that means for all of the other things happening in my life. And if kind of the more things you experience, the more associations you build, it's such a cool effect that over time, suddenly, a small new insight in one project suddenly has massive implications for like 3 other of your projects that are like part of your life's work. It becomes this really cool process where one small step suddenly has so much implications and so much progress for you, because you have all of these different, it's like a network of things. So I thought just the exercise of speaking and hopefully starting conversations with people in a more scalable way, like in a YouTube video, for example, would already give me so much more progress in terms of internalizing and even creating associations. Yeah, and honestly, I was so excited about this topic that I've been trying to create my own YouTube videos for a while now, and I never really found a good entry point, and I feel like this is a good entry point. And so this is also kind of my introductory video about who I am and what I want to accomplish with my YouTube channel. And basically, the topic of associations, it's really describing how I'm going to use this YouTube channel, because I'm going to speak about most of my projects on here, probably not all of them, maybe over time. And I already feel that it's going to happen exactly like I just described, that, at the start, it's going to be fairly distinct topics like music, poetry, coaching, software engineering, all of these things. But over time, I'm going to probably myself only realize how are they interlinked with each other. And yeah, this is a really fun exercise for me. I'm super nervous right now as well. I can speak quite freely and quite normally, like I would normally speak, but it's still quite emotionally intense for me, which is a nice experience. Just a few more words or talking points about associations. So something I also needed quite a long time to kind of internalize and realize is how much my multicultural background affected my experience throughout my whole life. Probably doesn't surprise you. So for your information, I'm half Iranian, half German. And I've grew up in Germany, and I have never been to Iran. And I think in the last 3 or 4 years, I've learned Farsi, which is the Iranian language, the language spoken in Iran. And yeah, recently I have so many conversations with other Farsi-speaking friends or contacts, and I really came to a point where I can have proper conversations, and it's a really amazing feeling. This definitely wasn't the case like half a year ago, so I'm super excited about that. But to me, this multicultural background was always so weird, because what it means to me in my experience is that I can never really belong, like I never really feel belonging to either Germany or the German culture or Iran and the Iranian culture. Like I grew up in Germany. This is where I have my day-to-day, and I'm living here for 29 years now. But there are things in the German culture where I'm like, why is it like that? I don't understand. What it's like my Iranian side kicking in and like saying like, why are they doing it like this? I don't agree with that, or I cannot even relate to it. Whereas my focus has always been on kind of the Iranian culture, and I feel that I can relate with pretty much everything over there, even though I haven't been there like even once in my life. And I do think it has something to do with kind of my wish to see that side of myself, that it's a little bit more out of reach than my German side, because like I'm living in Germany, like it's super accessible to me, right? But the Iranian culture is it has always been kind of a journey and adventure to explore it. So what is the relationship to associations? I do think that, yeah, like the broad term of a culture is kind of, I see it as a perspective or a potential perspective or point of view you can have on any given thing. And to me, there is no right or wrong with the culture or with the perspective. I think perspective is always enriching. And even if you have multiple perspectives, it is even more enriching. So I always imagine it like you have an object in your hand, and taking another perspective means to either like turn the object around, look at it from a different point of view, or you can even, you know, move yourself to watch the object from another side or in a different kind of context. And to me, this is what a culture provides me with. So I feel that since I'm here, basically I have two starting points of perspectives, and a new perspective can always give you a new association. So like basically in all aspects of life, whether it's social aspect, like fashion, cuisine, art, poetry, music, politics, religion, personal matters, friendships, work life, anything. A culture is kind of a lens to look through, and then from that lens you can derive your own point of view or your own conclusions. But I had like two lenses. So to me, I mean, it has been difficult because, as I said, the kind of the lack of feeling of a belonging is really weighing me down. But on the other hand, there's a huge opportunity to form more associations, to have more point of views on a given thing, and I think that is always an opportunity. Yeah, so I think the final talking point for this video is that really I'm trying to like plant seeds with my videos, and over time those seeds will grow by themselves, and then associations between the videos will kind of form whole forest and environment of who I am and what interests me. And hopefully, I really hope that all of my videos will be helpful to you, the viewers, as well. And to me, it's super interesting to hear your perspectives. I think one of my goals is to basically be in contact with every human being on this world. It's quite an ambitious project, but yeah, that's my goal. So I would love to form a relationship with you and hear your talking points and derive my own associations from them, and hopefully provide you with valuable associations myself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and goodbye.